Hello, friends. It's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. How are you today? Yes, okay, we're back with the Phil Donahue microphone. Quick poll, quick survey. How many of you actually know who Phil Donahue is in the comments? My guess is, Phil was a blast from the past, but okay, look, enough with Phil Donahue. What I want to talk about today is not Phil, but I want to talk about you holding my hand or me holding your hand. I was on a call with a friend of mine, dear friend of mine from years ago, Jeremy Allen. He has a company, a bookkeeping company called System 6 Bookkeeping. Shout out to you, Jeremy, and your bookkeeping company. And I hired Jeremy and his company to help me with bookkeeping because for the longest time, I was just unwilling to look at my finances. Now, I've been doing some stuff with QuickBooks Online, and for the life of me, I can't figure out how to connect some things and do some things. And so I've basically, Jeremy's in the process of onboarding me. And so I jumped on a Zoom call with him this morning, and he sat there with me. This is the owner of the company. His company does millions and millions of dollars a year, right, in gross revenue. They do over millions of dollars in gross revenue. And he is sitting on the Zoom call with me, telling me where to point and click the mouse, right? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it is not rocket science to click a mouse. And yet, I could not have done what he had me do in the quick 30-minute session we had. I could not have done it myself, and it would have taken me forever, and I would have gotten massively frustrated to the point of quitting. Now, here's my quick question for you. How many of you have tried to figure something out in marketing on your own to the point where you got so frustrated at trying to figure it out that you just quit until you motivated yourself or went to a conference or had some sort of kick in the pants to like, I got to get back into marketing. And so you're like, okay, I'll do it this time. And you go back and you open up the technology or whatever the thing is for your marketing, and you sit down to try to do it, and you can't figure it out again. And so then you get frustrated, and then you get frustrated some more. And ultimately, at some point, you're like, I just can't do this. I can't figure it out. And you get frustrated and you quit again. You quit again. And this pattern can repeat itself over and over, month after month, after year after year. And this is why we lag in results in marketing, because you're not asking for help. And let's take it one step further. If we're going to get really honest, you're not willing to pay for help. Ouch. For the longest time, I wasn't willing to pay for somebody to help me in my finances, partly because I just didn't have a great relationship to finances, but also because I didn't have a great relationship to paying somebody to tell me to point and click a mouse. I'm like, I should be able to figure it out. Do you see the difference in that? Like, the story I lived in was I should be able to figure it out. It's not that hard. And you have been sitting there telling yourself in marketing, like, this shouldn't be so hard. I should just post to Facebook. I should just turn on my camera. I should just create a landing page or whatever it is you're trying to do. And in the spirit of bootstrapping, and in the spirit of being independent, and in the spirit of not trusting people to tell you how to do it, and giving people your money, because there's a lot of charlatans out there, people who take your money and don't really help you, you have decided to try to figure it out yourself. And in the process, you've delayed your success and your results because you keep kicking the can down the road on simply producing a result. In one 30-minute conversation this morning, I was able to get stuff done that I otherwise could not have done. How much was that 30 minutes worth to me? In that it cleared a pathway for me to now move forward with my life and the things I'm up to. Some of you have built such a big bottleneck that you can't get through it. You need to clear it away so that you can get on with your life. But in the space of marketing, you have such a huge bottleneck of story built upon story built upon story of how you should be able to figure this out. And it's such a big wall or bottleneck now that you throw your hands up and you're like, I can't figure it out. I got off a call yesterday with a client of ours, right? A graduate, a coaching client who's working with me on implementing her marketing stuff, right? From her landing pages and payment processing and all the stuff to set up her website in such a way that she can now, once this bottleneck is cleared, And she's thrown her hands up on this technology thing for years. And now that we've cleared the bottleneck, she is free to and clear to begin the pipeline of leads. She's clear for her groundswell, the results she's going to produce. But she'd been living with this bottleneck forever. And this story called I Don't Like Technology, she paid me basically in yesterday's session to tell her where to point and click a mouse. And she was so grateful at the end of our session because we had accomplished so much. We were so productive in that hour and a half we roughed out 3 pages on our website. We set up a couple emails, a couple applications. Like we actually built stuff in her business by me telling her where to click a mouse. Some of you are still being so fiercely independent and stubborn about asking for help, and this is why you're stuck. And on top of that, you're cheap. You're not willing to pay for help. If we're just going to say it straight. What is it worth to you to begin to clear the bottleneck so you can get on with your life? How long will you continue to drag this heavy sack of, weight of excuses, of stories that are slowing you down from the thing you're really here to do in the world? So listen, here's how we're going to end this episode today. It is important for you to begin to live into a new story or mindset called I pay for help. I pay for help. It's not information. You don't have to. In fact, what's oftentimes more valuable than the information, because there's so much information out there, is the holding of my hand. You should start paying people to hold your hand to move your life forward. That is what I do in my 6-week program, right? In my programs, what I do is I don't just give you information. I actually help you implement the stuff so that you can clear the bottleneck and get on with your life. You have big things to do. Let's go do them. But you have to start to invest in people holding your hand, okay? And as adults, I think we just say to ourselves, I shouldn't have to do that. I'm an adult. I shouldn't have to pay someone to hold my hand. And yet, that very story is the thing that keeps us stuck for years. So here's my invitation to you. If you're stuck in your marketing and you don't want to be, you'd like to get on with your life in marketing, and all you need is for somebody to hold your hand, I invite you to apply to my 6-week program, because everything with me starts there, okay? My 6-week program walks you through how to actually begin to find and capture the message you're really here to say to the world, which becomes your marketing, and you graduate that program with your own podcast, your own show. Right? That becomes the platform from which to market the rest of your days. And then from there, I have a second program which actually moves you into all the technical things of landing pages and offers and things that set you up to receive cash from people to hold their hand, right? So if you'd like help, if you'd like me to hold your hand in marketing, I invite you to apply for my 6-week program called the Groundswell Method Intensive, because it's intense, right? It's intense. How does that feel, Bob? It feels intense, Chris. Yes, it's intense. So what I want you to do is go to groundswellmethod.com, watch the free videos, and on the last page of the free videos is an application button. You fill that out, it comes to me, and at the time of this recording, the next intensive program starts March 2nd. So do not wait. There is a limited number of people who get in because I work individually with each of you. So go ahead, go to groundswellmethod.com. The link is in the description of this post. If you can't remember groundswellmethod.com, which is pretty easy to remember, but if you can't, it's in the text of this post. Okay. And I will see you all tomorrow for another episode. Thanks for hanging out with me here today. Here's to you paying other people to hold your hand. See ya.